Hello and welcome back to Sorted Food. Today we have the creative geniuses behind Pizza Pilgrims, James and Thom.
Hello.
Welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
Now, let me explain what's about to happen, because we've got two of our normals, Jamie and Mike, going head to head in a creative challenge. It's an ultimate pizza hybrid battle.
Right.
So they've worked with our food team to come up with a combination of a pizza dish and something else delicious. And they've got to put them together.
So you're taking the 300-year-old traditional pizza making and moving it forward?
So look, we're going to put you guys in charge of judging the end results. Do you want to do the honours and count them in?
I just really want to say ready, steady, cook, but I'm sure there's something.
Ready, steady, cook!
Okay.
Well,
right.
Okay.
The music doesn't actually start
Yeah.
when you're actually here. I thought the music starts. Also, possibly the hardest job in the kitchen is toasting pine nuts, so I reckon he's going to burn those.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Straight away.
That pan preheated.
You cannot do pine nuts on an electric hob. It's impossible.
Sorry, boys. How far into the battle was it before Mike burnt something? Just out of interest.
So, Mike, you're playing with our dough there. I'm worried.
I am currently weighing out dough because this needs to be precise, and I'll tell you why. Because my hybrid recipe is a dough ball croquembouche.
Oh, come
So
on.
the croquembouche, a French patisserie dish made out of profiteroles. So what we should be left with is essentially a cone of delicious garlic buttered pizza dough balls topped with tomato, basil, cheese, and pesto for dipping.
Have you set yourself a height, a dream height you're aiming for?
No, I think what you get is what you get.
That sounds about right. Jamie, what's your match for the croquembouche pizza then?
Match? It's not a match, first of all.
Okay, what's your
way
knock it
below.
out of the park?
We all know how great pizzas are.
I mean, that's why we're here.
But what else is great? Donuts.
Okay.
And what would be really great is a pizza donut. So I'm taking your dough. I'm going to then fill that dough with a mushroom duxelle,
Stop it.
a tomato sauce, smoked ham, mozzarella, wild garlic, all wrapped up into a ball, deep fried for a few minutes until it all gets crispy on the outside and soft and melty in the middle.
That sounds excellent. And that is actually that's actually a bit rooted in Naples tradition. They do a bit of like frying pizza dough over there.
First up, it's all about my fillings. I'm starting with a mushroom duxelle. To do that, I'm going to rehydrate some porcini mushrooms in some boiling water. I'll roughly chop some chestnut mushrooms, finely dice a shallot, all into a pan with some oil and butter. I'll pour in white wine and let that reduce by about half. In the meantime, I'll add the liquid from my rehydrated porcini mushrooms, then roughly chop the porcini mushrooms, chuck them in as well, and that is my mushroom duxelle that can fry away for about 8 to 10 minutes until it becomes really absolutely delicious.
So far, Mike has rolled out an awful lot of the dough. What's so special about the Pizza Pilgrim dough?
It's the amalgamation of all of the pizza chefs that have worked at Pizza Pilgrims have all kind of had their little touch on it and kept moving it forward. Good dough should only be 4 ingredients. It should be flour, really good flour. So this is Caputo flour, which is a 00 flour from Naples. And then it's cold water. And then it's salt and fresh baker's yeast. And we use, one of the keys to our dough is that we use a tiny amount of the yeast. So for a big 25 kilo sack of flour, we'll use 12 grams of yeast, which is kind of the same size as a sort of broad
And then
bean.
just loads of time, presumably.
Yeah, improving it for longer.
We double ferment it, so it gets a batch ferment first, and then we boil it, and then we prove it a second time, and then it spends time in the fridge as well. So it's kind of a sort of 72-hour process by the time we're all done with it.
So now I've measured the dough, I'm rolling it out into spheres. They go onto a semolina lined baking tray, covered with oiled cling film, and leave them to prove. Next, it's onto one of my dips, pesto. I've got my cooled pine nuts in a mini chopper. I'm going to add to that garlic and parmesan, pulse it together, then add basil and olive oil and season it to taste at the very end to make sure that it's good enough for these guys.
After about 8 to 10 minutes, my duxelle has dried out nicely. I'm going to transfer that to a plate and put it in the fridge to cool down so we can put it into our donuts later.
So Pizza Pilgrims is a great set of restaurants in London that we love. We've featured several times before. Started by Thom and James after a pilgrimage around Italy, learning everything they could about pizza, right?
The idea was to drive all the way through Italy, learn everything we could about pizza, but we'd used Google Maps to figure out how long the drive would take, and it told us like, oh, that'd be 8 days. So we were like, great. We got home 6 weeks later because We had to get over the Alps
slow.
in what is essentially a tuk-tuk, and we went 3 miles an hour all the way up the Alps. And then, to be fair, hit our top speed on the way down the Alps.
Yeah.
For my tomato sauce, I've peeled and finely diced an onion. I've added that into a pan with some oil. That's fried off until it's got soft and translucent. I've then done exactly the same with a clove of garlic. That's gone in. It's fried for a couple of minutes. I'm now adding in some tomato puree.
I'm sorry, were you saying something?
Can we try it? Oh. It's kind of like a nut butter. You know when you eat peanut butter and it kind of sticks to the roof of your mouth? It's not the classic consistency I would have guessed for a kind of drizzling thing. It's kind of more of a peanut butter.
I think these guys are worse than Ebbers and James.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm now far more worried than I was before we started this. And I was already quite worried.
I always preferred home slice.
With my onion, garlic and tomato puree mix having fried off for a couple of minutes, I'll now add in chopped tomatoes, let that simmer for about 15 minutes and then add in white wine vinegar, sugar and salt to taste, get it all balanced, seasoning triangle, Ebbers. That will then go into a blender, blend it all up, make it nice and smooth, into the fridge, chill down. In the meantime, I can reset everything and get ready to roll out my dough.
We should point out all three normals came up with a pizza hybrid recipe.
Yeah.
And we picked the best two to go into this battle today. Barry didn't make it, so Innistrad left.
Before I roll out my dough, I'm going to cube my mozzarella, and that's the final bit of prep that I can do before my tomato sauce and my duxelle are ready. How's your tomato sauce coming on? Because mine's still got another 10 minutes or so to simmer. How have you, well, you haven't made that.
Is the tomato sauce here shop bought or pre-made? Very important distinction.
It's the same one that I'm making, but he outsourced it to a chef to make.
Proper pizza isn't actually a tomato sauce. We don't do cooked tomatoes. It's just really great tomatoes with salt.
Guys, coming up to halfway through, 30 minutes remaining.
Those proved I need to get a wiggle on because I've got half an hour left, so they're going into the oven 5 to 7 minutes.
So not everyone has the luxury of a pizza oven at home, but we've got our oven up as high as possible. What's the next best thing?
We really believe in the frying pan method. So get a frying pan on the hob, get it super hot, get your dough in the pan, put the toppings on, wait for the dough to puff up, and then get it under a really hot grill. So you're kind of trying to create that like mega heat of a Neapolitan oven, but almost like in
Tuesday from underneath
in
and above.
series. Yeah.
Everyone's got a frying pan. Don't buy a pizza stone. If you put a pizza on a pizza stone, once the cold dough hits the pizza stone, all of that heat just falls away and it doesn't get replenished, so you don't get a rise from your crust. So that's where the frying pan keeps the heat coming through.
So, dough balls are now in 5 to 7 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to heat up some sugar that's been just covered with some water, and I'm going to make a caramel. Once that's turned lovely golden amber and become caramel, take it off the heat, chuck in some chili flakes, because that's going to give it sort of another dimension with the sort of bitter, sweet caramel taste.
Whoa!
Hello!
I don't like to see that coming out of an oven.
Look at that!
That is amazing cooked too.
Like, I don't stand a chance.
I mean, some people, I'm not saying who, but some people could say if you kept a closer eye on it and turned them round slightly more frequently than you have been doing, then maybe they would have been more evenly
A
cooked.
whole of one side except for a centimetre, which is burnt. Can I use that oven? Do you mind just preheating it as hot as possible, please?
That's fine, mate. You outsource your dough balls, your tomato sauce, and maybe you can stack them up at the end. Maybe you get a little badge or something for it. A stacking badge. Here's my order. Ham, wild garlic, tomato sauce, mushroom duxelle, mozzarella, basil leaf. Not in the recipe, but I think it's going to add a little vol au vent. And then roll up. 1. Repeat however many donuts we want.
So you're going to roll that up first, then wrap that in dough.
Yes.
Sort of a double protective layer.
Exactly.
I've lowered the temperature of my oven now, and my parmesan is going in. Basically, I've just grated over a whole load of parmesan onto a silicone mat, and once it's cooked through for about 8 minutes, I'm going to snap it into shards, and I'm going to use that to decorate my croquembouche, if we even get to a croquembouche.
Oh wait, I've got a tiny little violin down here somewhere.
No, that's your
And you've got 20 minutes remaining.
Should we try and set out some rules?
I think we should.
So we've got idea, execution and visuals, flavour, and then would anyone actually eat it? Should we do 3 of each?
Yeah.
3
You have to
apiece.
get just one of those things.
Yeah.
3 points in each category.
What's the pass?
3 points in each category.
Yeah, fine.
Can we give up 1 point to deliverability?
Oh, hang on a second. I wasn't told this criteria. My garlic butter is melted butter, garlic, parsley, all stirred together. And that's literally it. Just going to dip the dough balls in that before construction.
Last 15 minutes.
I'm sticking the dough balls together with my chili caramel, obviously putting the burnt ones at the bottom. I've got to get a move on.
I'm very impressed that the having watched sorted videos before, and you kind of think in the edit that maybe they've made the drama. The drama is real.
Oh no.
It is white heat in there.
They are competing all year to win skills badges, and today they are competing for the hybrid badge if the dish delivers.
I'm now brushing my croquembouche with garlic butter.
Last 8 minutes. Mike, you've got to make yours look even better. Jay, you've got to cook yours. Interesting that I feel like the Parmesan crisp only needed another minute or so.
Oh no!
And then he left it 5.
It looks totally fine. You've nailed it.
But, well, it's about time I had some luck. I now want to drizzle tomato sauce and literally just make this look like a messy sort of pizzeria stack.
Donuts are going into a pan of oil. I've had to get an induction hob to get it hot enough. It's about 170-ish. They're going to need 4 or 5 minutes and constant floofing.
What's that going on there?
So now I'm just putting some ricotta.
I like that my brain's just fully given in to the idea of the croquembouche now. I'm not questioning it. It's like,
Yeah.
Last 30 seconds.
I tell you what, the 2 dishes couldn't look more different, could they?
Ten seconds.
This actually might work.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step away from your hybrid pizzas. Well, we made it.
Barely.
We didn't.
2.
Yeah, you didn't make anything.
We all made it to the end of the video. What we have is 2 incredible hybrid pizza efforts. What are your first thoughts?
Oh, now that's just rude.
Way to start
Like,
positive.
laugh in my face.
It is everything I imagined it was going to be.
Can't be asked more than that, can you? It's quite an impressive achievement. We're going to start with this one. I don't think we're going to get... We're not going to get a cheese ball.
No cheese ball, but is the cross section there?
It's pretty dreamy as a cross section. The little parcel within a parcel has worked.
I mean, if we go back and read the terms and conditions, there was never a cheese pull guaranteed.
You can get a cheese ball.
Oh!
Hang on.
Hang on a second.
Okay, we take it back.
Excuse me.
That
It does exist.
is legit.
But as you said, it doesn't really matter, does it? Whether there's a cheese ball or not. Cheers.
Cheers.
That is delicious.
That's completely delicious. Smoked ham and the mushroom going well together.
Yep.
That sauce, you can really taste it's homemade, which is lovely.
Tang of sauce. And do you know what? I think the porcini saved you there as well, because it is super mushroomy.
Saved you.
Saved you.
Not saved you, but
Saved you.
it's punching on strong mushroom, and that's a good thing.
The dough is cooked through,
Damn.
I think. The dough is, I think there was quite a lot of working of the dough, which I think made it quite,
It's a bit tougher.
it's a bit more chewy. About 13 seconds before the end of you making that, it did not look anything like what it kind of became right at the end. You really pulled out the bag presentation-wise in the last 10 seconds.
It's what happens when you have a presentation badge, though, isn't it? You just... Oh, sorry. It's what happens when you have a presentation badge, isn't it, Ebbers?
Right, before there's any fisticuffs, let's move on to the next one.
To be fair,
It's a hot mess. which is ironic because it's actually got quite cold since it's been sat there.
So are you saying that the man who created this has not got a presentation badge?
No.
I mean, surely
surely
we could, that means just rectified right there in front of you.
I mean, we invite guests in to judge battles, but if you think that's worthy of a presentation badge and a plating badge, I'm happy for you to give it to Mike.
You have got to give a plating and presentation badge for that.
Yes! There's a curveball we didn't see coming.
That's amazing!
It's an amazing achievement.
Thank you! Barry's going to be even more gutted than he was before.
Dig in and make sure you get a chance to dip as well. Okay, there we go. There we go. It makes it easier for everyone. Makes it easier for everyone.
Someone has to do it. Someone has to do it.
Wow.
Right, cheers.
I was going to go all in one, but
Hang on a minute, caramel and pesto is a thing.
And a Parmesan
Absolutely.
crisp.
can you put something in my water? Why does everything taste so delicious?
I was expecting this to be nice, and it was really nice. I was not expecting this to be nice, and it totally is. But it's delicious.
It really plays to the sweet salty thing, doesn't it?
Yeah,
because the caramel with a little bit of chilli, and it's not sweet caramel. It is that burnt bitter caramel.
That's what I'm not accounted for. The caramel is actually quite bitter, so it's not like overtly sweet. The dough is obviously great. I can't judge down our own dough, but I think again you've fallen foul of the overworking of the dough. The key with great Neapolitan pizza dough is you want to sort of, after it's proved and it's relaxed, you don't want to mess with it because it'll go quite tough. But then
Or it could have done with a longer proof.
could have done with a longer proof. But then there's a very satisfying chew to the kind of, there's a denseness to it, which I'm not hating.
Not hating.
Yeah.
Well done, you. So look, with badges in mind of the hybrid battle, I don't think there's any doubting that both dishes tick that box, and I am giving both of you the hybrid badge to add to your surprise plating badge. But we're here for the battle and the battle winners, which is up to you guys. Do you have a winning dish?
We thought that this was a great idea, although it kind of sort of exists in some way, but it tasted amazing. You would absolutely 100% order it if you saw it on a menu. We might even steal it and put it on our menu. All in all, we thought really, really good. 9 points out of 12 we got.
Yeah. And then this one, unfortunately, isn't quite going to make it onto our menu. Just
You can't afford it.
By a hair, it hasn't made it. But in terms of being a pizza croquembouche, 100%, that's exactly what that was. Just edged it and we 10 points. So very, very happy to announce the croquembouche, which also doubles up as a trophy.
Your prize is to have the balls to dream that up and pull it off. Fair play.
Well done, mate. Well done.
Close, yours is making the menu.
Yeah, we need to discuss profit share of mine being on the menu.
As much as that was nosebleedingly stressful for me, it's been amazing having you guys in and sharing some of your insight. So thanks so much for stopping by.
Pleasure.
And thank you for making the right choice at the end.
A lot of fun.
Well, that was a roller coaster of a challenge, and I think I enjoyed myself right up until that last second.
I also think I enjoyed myself throughout the whole video. Did you enjoy yourselves? Give the video a like. What did you think of our guests? Do you think we should do more of these? If you think so, then comment down below.
It would be nice to get some proper chefs in here, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You've been a little on the side all video, so you deserve that.
That's my job. Look, you guys know that we love Pizza Pilgrims and we've done loads of stuff before, but if they want to find more about you, where are they going to find it?
Instagram. I run the Instagram account at Pizza Pilgrims, so follow us there.
Or you could try one of our frying pan pizza kits at home at pizzainthepost.co.uk.
Highly recommend those.
Give it a go.
Since filming this, the guys have thrown in 20% off the Pizza in the Post kits for you lovely Sorted viewers using the promo code SORTED. This is not a hashtag ad, they are our actual friends being nice. Links are below.
It's now 3 chefs trying to dissect where someone's up. The lowest common denominator is going to be Mike